Kiahonfire fan, my name is Conan and welcome back to Conan Exiles. So this morning, Conan actually released a really interesting patch live update, and this is for test live servers at the moment. It's not official game, but hear me out. This is by far the best dungeon they have ever done on Conan Exiles. This thing is absolutely insane. The rewards are insane. The bosses are insane. Oh my god, it's just amazing. So, I just, don't mind the heat stroke. This is the new armor, and you're gonna see this soon. But it is absolutely crazy. Look at that armor value. I've got nothing on but this stuff. It is crazy, the values on this chest plate as well. 350 armor just for that chest plate. It's nuts. And it has its own stats. Like, weapon is repaired by small amount of damage each time you take damage. So every time you take damage, your armor gets repaired? What? The only downfall with this armor is, of course, heat stroke. It's not for this biome at all. You cannot wear it in the south. It has to be in the north. That's just how it goes. It doesn't matter how many iced teas you chug at the moment. You're still going to have heat stroke. So I dressed up myself a dancer, and we're going to go into the dungeon and explore it with you. I have already had a little look through to see where to go, so I don't take up too much time. But I'm going to show you what it's all about and stuff like that, and we can have a good look. So I guessed it would be here because of the WARMAKERS sign. I thought like this should always be a dungeon, and they actually made it into a dungeon, which I think is really cool. So if you want to find the area when it comes official, it is right here on the map, just above the Serpent City. I had to load up a new map, so I don't have any of the landmarks pointed out, unfortunately. But it's right there. There's a little actual obelisk down here. You don't have to kill this guy here, but you can if you like. I think I'm going to cloak myself because there's so many enemies in here, but E on the door, and you teleport. Now once you're in here, you'll be greeted with this kind of thing here. There we go, I took an iced tea, so I'm already hot now, but here we go. Here's the first impressions of the dungeon. Is huge. But you don't need to look at much of this. There's not much to look at. You come to your first guy. You actually want to kill this guy, because he's going to drop you the WARMAKERS key, and he's going to drop you a fragment of power, which is really nice. So I'm just going to yoink that out of him. These guys will also get in the way. I don't know if this chest is going to be included in the official version, because this also gives you a WARMAKERS key, and you can get pretty much unlimited WARMAKERS key out of this. But you only really need one for the door, and we'll see if that gets included. So just bear in mind, he drops it, and so does this chest. But when you walk in, you're going to come to this initial place with many doors, and you'll see these. If you actually click on these, they activate traps, and it bleeds you really quite badly. And basically, it does 1 point of damage every second, but if you click on several of them several times, you're going to get stacked really quickly, and you're going to die pretty quick. But these are the actual 3 you want, right in front of my face here. These 3. And basically what you need is you need statues for each of these 3 sockets, right here. And the way you go about doing that is you have to go in all of these sword doors. And then it will open this door. So I'm going to start with this one on the left. And we're going to go in here. And you don't need any keys to open the doors or anything like that. It actually feels like a proper level 60 dungeon. And you have to kill things to progress. So that is really cool. But now you'll come to this. This is what you want. This boss here. He's a sword man. He's pretty nasty. So now we're uncloaked. First these little minions are going to attack you, and then if you get too close, he will come for you. So he has a pretty big attack range. All of the bosses like this will do. I would recommend either you could do daggers or shield with this guy. But I'm going to kill him. That's what you're going to initially want to do. And he will give you his sword. And he will also give you a WARMAKERS statue. Keep this statue. You want the statue. I'm actually going to steal his sword as well. You can also harvest these for thick hide and demon blood, which is really nice. They don't seem to give you much else from that though, so I'm just going to chuck it away. And you can continue on with your statue. So do not place your statues in yet. You want to keep the statues on your body before you place them. You want all three on your person before you stick them in, otherwise you're going to lose them. And you'll have to come in here again and defeat these guys again, which you don't want. So keep them on your body until you have all three statues. You're going to come through here. There's nothing in here yet either, so just leave this place for now. Continue to the boss chamber. You can open these doors clicking E. I don't know what it will be on console, but this is PC for now. And you're going to come to this lovely librarian right here. I'm going to give them a stab so they show you what weapon it has. Right, so let me see if I can get his attention now. Hello. So this dude has a short sword, so you have short sword abilities. Just look how fast he moves, it's ridiculous. But no, once you killed this guy, my friend stopped dancing on his body. You might. You're going to take his statue. He also gives you a book that you can consume. Now, from what I've seen on this book that he gives you, it gives you a random bonus every time. So last time I came in here, it gave me bonus survival. This time he's given me a manual that gives me bonus encumbrance, so I'm going to use that. Pretty much just, you know, gives you more weight and stuff at the moment, so he could give you bonus strength, vitality, anything like that. Every time you come in here, it's going to be random what he gives you. But I thought that's pretty nice. You could farm him out and steal all his books and have, like, bonuses that way. So I thought that was really sweet, actually. Now you got two of the statues, you're going to want to take this final door here into the last one. And this is probably the hardest one for me, I would say. Just because this guy is an absolute asshole. And just look at this dungeon. Look at... Ugh. You can't drink from it, by the way. I don't think, anyway. But yeah, you're going to ignore that. You want to keep going ahead to the last hole. Now this guy is definitely the hardest. And he is the hardest because he is a spearman. His range is stupid. He just has this stupid range. So he's gonna be insane to fight. I'm gonna get rid of him again. But he's interesting. He gives you a maul instead of a spear, which I was like, okay, so that's cool. But I also noticed something with this. Last time he gave me a different mace. This time he's giving me another mace. Now you got all three statues, or statuettes. Priest King, Archivist, and Warmaker. That's what you want. This chamber is freaking awesome, just saying. You're going to want to make your way back. I'm looking at the main door, that's the main door. It's these three close ones, just here. Place, place, and place. And then you have your three statues that have been placed. Now you can go over to this door, and it should open. You can pick this book up as well if you like, it just gives you a bit of lore. But this door will now open. It won't open without those statues though, so just bear that in mind. Now this area is really cool, it actually feels like a proper dungeon because look at this. They have traps everywhere. You can't go through there because that's the way out, but you want to take this way down here. There is a lot of enemies, they're going to hurt a lot, and this place is littered with traps. I'm just going to show you, for example, this trap. It goes up so high. And then you have these traps. Yeah. Just these things here, don't step on them. They hurt. Bring a gas mask, is what I'm going to recommend. But you can have these guys everywhere you can fight. There doesn't seem to be much around here. Woo! You got spike traps, bounce traps, fire traps, and gas traps. And they're absolutely everywhere. Just making a mess here. You can come into this room here, there's a few things to fight. You can fight this white here. I'm gonna kill him. He will give us a key to the arena, which you want to pick up. And he will give us a annihilator. Ignores armor, okay? Ignores armor. That's stupid. This sword, when you attack people, it will ignore their armor. And look at the health damage and armor penetration. 100% armor penetration. Look at this thing. It is gorgeous. So I would highly recommend getting this white here. He might give you different weapons every time you attack him. But this one is definitely something you want, especially if you're on a PvP server. Ignoring everyone's armor, it's just dumb. It's dumb. It really is. So once you got that key, you want to come to this door. And then you can open the door with the key of the arena. Or you come to here, and you can crouch and go through this crack here. I don't know if this is supposed to be a thing, but it basically means you don't need the key. It goes into the exact same room. And pretty much you can go straight up here this way. But if you do have the key, it will pretty much take you into this room here, where there is a arena lady fighting an arena white that you can kill. You're going to get a different arena person every time. You can kill them. They don't give very much interesting stuff. I'll harvest them for you to show you what that gives as well. Nothing interesting. You got a few enemies around here, stuff like that. You can go into these little areas, and you also want to pick this up while you're in here. This will give you Arena Champion armor. Let me just show you that in the feats. So here you go. It's this Silent Legion looking armor, but it's white. It's got pretty good armor on it. And it's for cold temperature. There you go. So basically this dungeon will cater all cold. It's not for heat. It is all cold armor, which is a shame, but if you want cold armor, it's bloody good for that, which might make it a bit easier for you. You want to grab the touchstone either way, and then you want to head back into this room here on the left. It is always going to be this room here. So that's the way in, that's the door. And if you took the crack, this will lead you also here. All you're looking for is to go into this corridor here with a blue light. And this is going to take you into the main dungeon. So that bit wasn't even a dungeon before. This bit's the main dungeon. And you're taken into this cold area. I went through here earlier with normal armor. It doesn't seem to give you cold status effects. So I don't know if it will in the end version, but I predict it might. You can farm black ice here. And there is many holes here. You got a lot of undead creatures you can defeat. I haven't really seen any recipes around in here yet, like books. There doesn't seem to be. There's spiders. There's a lot of insane things. You got more spiders in there. There's chests in here with gold and silver that you can pick up. More spiders. This room is actually insane because it contains an undead dragon. Now you get the actual key out of this dragon. It's a boss chest, skeleton key. So you're level 60, you can open chest, and there you go. You got a skeleton key chest there. So getting rid of that guy. But you know, I would spare your armor and your resources on that, honestly, and go ahead, because you want to see why I would spare my stuff for that. Because on the end room there is something pretty insane, which is the end boss, and I'm actually really impressed with this dude. I think it's just like they've really outdone themselves this time. I think they really have, which makes me very happy. So you got this thing like the Midnight Grove here. Go in. You've got the red door, and here you go. Here's the boss. And I'm actually going to turn off cloak again, just so you can see how this guy is. That he needs to be seen in all of his glory, because he's just amazing. I don't know. Here we go. This boss is a mace boss, and he's a fast attacking mace boss at that. He's actually bugging out with this dude. So he does sunder. I'm going to see if I can attack him for the badge. This Annihilator might actually be really handy for this guy, just saying. Just do not get hit by that mace attack. The mace attack is really actually nasty. And if you're wearing normal armor, he will one-shot a lot of people. You want really good armor. But no, once you've killed him, he will drop dead, he will give you armor scraps and the Carnage. The Carnage is his weapon of choice. It's not his mace he carries around, but it is this really cool sword that you can get that is corrupted. It does cripple, it does a hell load of damage, armor pen. The only problem with this is every time you equip this sword, it gives you half corruption on both heavy and low corruption. So it's every time it will give you corruption. So you're going to want a dancer. That's why I had a dancer with me. But he died pretty easily in the end. So you might want to team with dancers. If you're going solo, leave a few dancers outside is what I would suggest to you. But no, that is the boss for this room. Then you get met with a bunch of doors. But before you go towards any of these doors, you want to go over to this little end part here. And there's two things you can pick up. You would need Exiled Armourer for this, so you're going to need the level 60 armor stuff. Learn before you can click on this. It gives you the Godbreaker armor, which is the stuff I am wearing right now. I'll show you this in a minute. And then you go over to here. You're going to need Star Metal Tools for this one, okay? And you click on it and you learn the WARMAKERS weapons. So let me just show you what that gives you. You can get all of this, rusted stuff and Godbreaker. I couldn't spawn in the rusted because it actually crashed my game. So we can't see that right now. And then the other thing it will give you is the WARMAKER weapons. You can build his mace and you can build the sword. So once you've learned those, this is the exit door you can go through. This is definitely the exit by these two plates. And then you have the rest of these four doors. Now these doors do not open unless you have a rusted key, and I couldn't find how to get a rusted key through this dungeon yet, but I will make sure to keep you posted when I find it. This thing is absolutely huge, but for time's sake I am going to bring in a rusted key so I can show you what is behind the doors. So I spawned myself 4 of them. I'm going to open this door. I'm going to see if it took away my rusted key. Yes, it does. Okay, it consumes your key when you give it. This took me to this room. Just a single chest in here. What does it give me? Silver coins, armor scraps. See what that gives us. Another room with just a chest. Gives us coins and scraps. Alright, so I'm going to go back. Alright, these are basically rooms that will give you coins and scraps, and that is it. I do hope they do something with these though, because that seems a bit lame for a rusted key. I don't know how you get a rusted key though, so we'll see. So I suppose that's pretty interesting. You want to be careful, the boss arena is littered with traps, spikes and stuff like that. And you can harvest this guy. The only problem with this guy is he doesn't seem to give me anything at the moment. I presume he might give me rusted keys when I can farm him. But at the moment he doesn't give me anything when I farm him out. And that's pretty much it. And these doors just give you coins and armor scraps. So be careful with that. It will consume your key when you use it. Just so you know. So once you've clicked on these tablets, you can go through this door again. This is the exit door. And you can run through here. Yeah, this is definitely the exit here. If you don't want to go out of here, don't, because once you go over this lump here, you actually cannot come back, because it will block you. So once you jump down from here, you will not be able to climb back up. And there are spikes here. And that is basically the entire dungeon. You can now just go back the way you came, and then you'll have to open this door to go home. But that is pretty much the entire dungeon walked through. Now I'm going to show you some of the items, and hopefully my game will not crash. Just look how awesome this helmet is. It does glow blue. So since it keeps crashing me, I was going to spawn one of these in so I can show you the actual armor and stuff. See what's made. You want to pick up all the armor scraps because you need armor scraps to actually build the new stuff. This is the champion stuff you can build. You need perfected heavy boot linings and stuff like that for it. Show you the Godbreaker stuff. You actually need the additional rusted stuff before you can build the God stuff. And it's going to need alchemic base and dragon powder. Dragon powder will probably be your hardest one to get out of all of that. And then we're just going to scroll down to the, here we go, the rusted stuff. Rusted stuff requires star metal. And you're going to need that for every piece of it. Alchemic base, armor scraps. And then you're going to need your heavy stuff. So this is, they've renamed a few of these things, perfected, heavy, etc. They've changed a lot with this new patch. Yeah, that's what you're going to need to actually end up with this, making it. The rusted is like a crappier version of this, but initially you just want to get this. And use it in the cold area. Because you're going to be insane. It's really interesting. The helmet has bonus grit. It's heavy armor, so bear that in mind, although it does look heavy. So there you go. So sorry people that don't like heavy armor, but this is heavy. The chestplate I found most interesting because it gives you bonus armor. So we have 1,162 here. Taking that off gives me 712. Put it back on, there you go. It is quite significant, this chestplate here. And the actual thing it gives you. You got the hands, it gives you bonus strength. You got some decent armor there, 86, heavy. Bonus agility for the skirt. Heavy again, good armor, 216. Then you got the boots that give you bonus encumbrance. So that should help you with this heavy armor. This armor is really, really heavy. 53 just for the chestplate alone, 30 on the head and skirt. Then you got 15 weight for the hands and boots. So you're going to be pretty weighed down by what you're wearing here. And hopefully this bonus encumbrance helps out quite a bit. You can see on my attributes what it does. This encumbrance is not just the boots alone. This is with the potion book I took from that dude. It gives you plus 11 encumbrance. So those books that they give you are actually damn well good. And they last for about 30 minutes. So that thing is pretty insane. Then the rest just give you plus 3 per bit you wear. Which is really, really nice. So I'm actually really impressed with this armor. It is sad it's a bit heavy and we don't have some difference there. But pretty much it's all going to be heavy, this stuff is. I can spawn in the champion stuff so you can see that. I just can't spawn in the rusted stuff, otherwise it's going to crash my game. So sorry about that. But here you go. We have the there you go. I think that silver looks really nice on the Silent Legion stuff. Let's have a look at this. This gives me 823 armor having this on. Bonus grit on the head, heavy armor again. Bonus strength on the chest plate, 274 armor value there. Bonus grit with the hands, 78 armor. Bonus strength on the skirt, 196 armor. Bonus grit, 78 on the boots. So there you go, that's that version of the Silent Legion. But yeah, you do want to be properly leveled and equipped to go in this dungeon. It is no joke at all. And you might think this is just a cheap knockoff of the Silent Legion armor. It does look like a cheap knockoff, pretty lazy that way. But believe me when I say getting the Silent Legion armor is actually way, way easier than getting this armor out of there. Because to even get into the room to actually learn this, you do need all those statues, so you need to kill 3 bosses, and you can't just run for it like you can with Silent Legion. So this, it's not easier to get than Silent Legion, so you at least have that, I suppose. Although it would have been nice to have a new design for it. So we have the Carnage sword that you get from the boss, or you can build yourself. So this thing's pretty nasty with all this corruption it gives you. I'm countering this with entertainers right now, as I'm wearing this. It's corrupted, it cripples, It does 64 health damage, 14% armor pen. We get some info here. And here is the Black Heart Hammer, 27 armor pen, 60 health damage. It does sunder. And again, it will corrupt you when you wear it. Again, get yourself some dancers. Only problem with this is every time you lose corruption, it will put it back on you. So you're just going to get this like insane corruption crap around you for a little while. And then it should go and you should be alright. This thing is a nasty ass maze, not going to lie. The light will probably be the most entertaining for you, not going to lie. And then I'm going to use this sword on the last guy. There's a full attack, and then you got the light. So you got some pretty nice weapons you get from this place. But that is pretty much what I could find of the dungeon and what you're going to get out of it. I'm definitely saying it's the best dungeon they've done so far. And I hope you enjoy it as much as I have. It should be coming soon. I don't have an ETA for it, but just keep an eye on their Twitter. They update that pretty often, and you can see all of the information there. But thank you for watching. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!